Now, this might come as a surprise, ne? But it's not that much like a surprise. But I've always wanted to have an interview with one of the youngings like me in this country and just ask them questions, maybe conduct an interview like video. Ask them questions like, what do you think this country, Lesotho, needs more for us to thrive as a young generation that's soon to be upcoming leaders of the future? What do you think would most help or assist us to exploit our resources, to exploit our God-given talents and our skills for them to better benefit us as a country? And one thing that I had in mind to answer that question that I recorded and put aside and maybe decided I will pitch in that idea when I'm already conducting the interview was that if this country could focus all their efforts, or maybe not necessarily all their efforts because there are many other industries that we could establish. But if this country could focus on making sure that we have company PTY LDT managed record labels, there's so much talent underground artists have that is not being exploited, that is not being acknowledged and recognized in this country. For example, when I used to do like music as a passion, when I was fully involved in making music, if you go to SoundCloud and you search maybe 266 Underground Records or some local Lesotho artists, maybe you could search by their biography or by their descriptions. But if you go and search Lesotho artists, you'll be surprised how much talent, how much raw talent we actually withhold in this country. How much talent actually exists underground that we do not take the time to recognize because we are so focused on being on the surface and looking up to the sky that we forget that underground there is so much to find. And that is why you don't usually find diamonds on the surface. They're usually underground. It's that exact description. Underground artists carry the most versatile of talent, the best. And if, like I said, if this country were to focus its efforts and its resources on establishing a good enough platform for us to thrive as artists, and when I say artists, I'm talking about musicians and people who draw and paint. Because in as much as we can talk about music all day, we have so many people who can literally draw, who have a passion and a drive for drawing and painting. It's just that we don't have the necessary resources for us to exploit such skills. If you visit some of the exhibitions in the country that are sometimes hosted in art galas and art galleries, you get to find that Lesotho has so much talent, young talent, that if we had all the resources that we needed for us to use to amplify our talents and our skills, this country would be a map recognized country. Because already we are in the foreshadows of discussions. We are in the rear seats of discussions when it comes to world and politic discussions. Because our country, not a lot of people know it. I did a study and an analysis one time just to see how many people actually know of the country Lesotho. And you'll be surprised to come to find out people actually know only about South Africa. And some people actually think Lesotho is just one of the provinces of South Africa. And there was one individual from South Africa who did actually happen to extend that insult and said Lesotho, South Africans could just consider Lesotho as one of the provinces. Just that by political logic, we are not a province. We are an independent country that's just landlocked into South Africa. And if I could educate some of you guys about what's the case about Lesotho and what is happening. Yes, we are landlocked into South Africa, but we are an independent country, not a province. And I know South Africa or South Africans might want to estimate or to make an analysis of land per square, maybe kilometer, that they occupy as opposed to how much area we occupy, and say, since we are just a minority, we could just fuse into South Africa and lose our independent identity as Lesotho and just join South Africa to be a regular province. I hope that never happens. Because if we go back to our history, just that a lot of people might want to be ignorant about the fact that our history makes our identity. But if you go back to our history, with all the fights that were happening between maybe Shaka Zulu and Battle Frere and maybe our King Moshoeshoe the First, by the right order of how things were supposed to have worked out, there's a portion of South Africa that was supposed to be owned by Lesotho. A mistake took place when Lesotho was bordered inside South Africa without us being given our rightful owned land. But this is not a topic that I want to be discussing as of maybe now or maybe today. It's not a topic for today. But it's just something that I maybe wanted to get off my mind, because initially I was talking about talent and record labels, but now I find myself having talking about land and politics and history. But yeah, it kind of sucks, and that's why I say maybe many people might want to be ignorant to that idea that there's a portion of South Africa that we were supposed to have owned. And I think it's around Bloem and Free State. Yes, because the river that actually separates us from South Africa is Mohokare River. So that side of Mohokare, the Free State and Bloemfontein, we were supposed to actually own some of that land to be ours, and then recreate a division again where we separate us from South Africans. But sadly, that's not how things worked out. But at least one thing that we can be proud of maybe as Basotho is that at least we have land that we can call ours. We have home, right? We have a home. We have our own land. We are inhabitants of an independent land. That's something to be proud of. Besides us just looking at complaining about how our history didn't go out as planned, what executive decisions were made, why they were even made in the first place, and end up discouraging ourselves and pushing ourselves to such a negative energy where we would now be compelled to start initiating riots and wanting to take over our land and starting another world war just to fight over land. For us to prevent all of that from happening, I think it's best we just appreciate what we have, right? It's still painful, but I think some things we have to do. Like we still have to accept some things, right? Just like how South Africa should accept that Lesotho is forever going to be an independent country, not a province, right? And I hope it forever remains like that, because they already took so much from us. When you think about it, Africa and Lesotho have been deprived of so much, because we did have affairs with the British this is me talking about us as Lesotho independently. I'm not even talking about Africa as a continent. Lesotho did face some challenges, and we had some affairs with the British people from England. There were fights, some people died, and there was one interesting and very funny fight that happened between Lesotho and the British people, where the British had those useless guns where you would, I don't know what they call those guns, but you put in gunpowder and you put a ball, and then you take the stick and then you just, yeah. So they were using those guns when Basotho were using manual weapons. So that was the one advantage they actually had to have defeated the, I don't know if it's the Boers or the British people, but yeah, there was a fight that broke out, and Lesotho happened to have won that fight only because of such an advantage. Yeah. So yeah, we did have some altercations with the British people. They did have an influence in our country and in Africa in general, because one thing that I was thinking about lately when it comes to this English thing and being colonized by the British, because we were colonized by the British, one thing that comes as an idea from that is how we were always taught in high school and even in school that US English is the lesser English, like the insignificant kind of English, the less elite kind of English. And we were taught that the UK English is the actual elite kind of English, is the English for the elite. And till this day, I still find it hard to say UK English is the English for the elite, because I can't call the people who colonized my country and my ancestors the elite. What the hell is the logic behind that? There will never come a point where I would rank UK people or rank British people at such a significant level, when all they did was to establish their own independent wealth by oppression and by theft, and with the help of the USA or the US, manipulation. I don't mean anything by it. All the many things that I have discussed do not reflect the actual image or portray an image that is linked to my channel. This is all contradictory to my channel, and these are just disclaimers. These are just alleged information that I'm just throwing here. I don't necessarily mean anything by it, and everybody knows that that's cap, because I'm only trying to seem innocent just so I could not be cancelled. Even if I were to get cancelled on YouTube, I would just establish a new email and start another channel from scratch, from 0 subscribers, because I was able to build my channel from 0 subscribers to 300 subscribers independently. No collabs. Well, I did happen to make some collabs, but a lot of my popular videos is just me. I don't have any popular videos of collaborations. It was independently me. So if it only took me to make it, then I can easily start from scratch. I now know and have an experience of what it's like to establish a new channel and to work towards making it greater. I now know what it's like to build a channel, and I'm so comfortable with it. I'm so focused, tunnel vision with it, bro. And that is why I confidently said, if I get to 100,000 subscribers, I'm now going to start calling my gang and my family from Fizzy Gang to Fizzy Fam, right? It's because I'm that confident in myself that I am going to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to get to 1 million subscribers. And I'm not even doing it with the essence of saying I want to be a soldier boy kind of nigga. right? Like be the first person to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube from Lesotho. Nah, I'm not doing it like that. But it would be so awesome if that were to be the case. But it's not the reason why I'm doing it. Execute. I have power to change. Why complain? Even if it were something that I couldn't change, still, why would I want to complain? So I stopped complaining about situations that I had control over, even situations that I don't have control over. Just in general, I stopped complaining because it doesn't help. Number 2, I stopped talking about stuff that's not going to take me anywhere. So this is almost still linked to that cat is dying. That cat is dying. Gross. Gross. So one thing that I also stopped doing is talking about stuff that's going to lead me nowhere. Right? So if you go back to my catalog of videos, I have some videos where I was crying about, oh, I can't get monetized because I'm living in Lesotho and apparently monetization is unavailable in my country and all stuff like that. And many other things that I decided to so complain about on my channel. So I stopped doing that because honestly, it doesn't help anything. So I decided to shut up and work. That's all. Number 3. I am still on the verge? But I'm still on a continuous development. I'm still on a Kaizen journey to stop fussing over views and statistics when it comes to my videos. It's not easy. It doesn't just happen with a snap of a finger and then instantly you stop caring about it. And I remember this one book that I read from JMayne Manson, the How to Not Give an F, where he was explaining that it's impossible to not give an F about anything. In our daily existence, each and everyone as an individual has stuff that they care about. So it's impossible to exist and not care about anything. Either the people you love, your career, money, food, alcohol, weed, there's something that you at least care about. So it's impossible to exist without that. That would make you inhuman. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's why I say it's not that easy to just instantly stop caring about the numbers, the digits, the statistics, the analytics, the number of subscribers. Because one thing that was like frustrating that I'm still trying to work on is sometimes you would, currently I have 355 subscribers. Sometimes I would get 356, then tomorrow lose 2 subscribers. And the following day, lose 1 more. Then the following day, you gain 2 more or 3 more. So is that kind of, so if you don't set yourself right mentally, that in its sense can frustrate you. It can frustrate the hell out of you. And if you're not that strong, if you don't have that strong of a core and a spine, it's gonna be easy for you to just decline. That's a bar. That's a bar. So new episodes, you can expect more content from the boy. This is me just telling you that you can expect more from the boy. Yeah. You can expect to hear from me on 6 new different episodes. You can expect to hear from the boy. I'm already covered for the whole week. Now I can focus on maybe taking vlogs and goofing around and taking a whole lot of dumb videos. So like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys.